Hello, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy, and today in this video I want to talk about uranium, and I want to talk about the psychology and a bit of the mistakes in my mentality in investing in 2019 that's made this year being pretty troublesome for my portfolio, not gonna lie. And just the psychology and how I've changed my game plan moving forward. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell down below, give me thumbs up, I do truly appreciate it. I also want to disclose I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment and information purposes. Do not buy or sell based on anything I talk about. Buy or sell after you did your own research, due diligence, and you like the investments you're pursuing. Okay, so yeah, there's a few companies that have been really disappointing in 2019, and part of my problem is it's a psychological thing with investing and trading. A good person to probably learn from would be Nika Domi. She loves psychology. She's a good person to talk about that stuff. But anyways, psychology is very big with trading and investing because it's pretty much the lifeblood. It's very big. So before I get into the psychology stuff, I just want to say that I am actively watching Uranium. It's starting to pull up. It may start running up a lot because the prices of uranium have been suppressed for so many years. So if it starts going up to like 27, 28 and then starts running up to 30, 35, 40, these uranium companies are gonna start to skyrocket. So I'm definitely gonna be watching them. I watch commodities. Like, that's something that people don't really understand, because I talk about cannabis like 99% of the time, but I watch all the commodities. It's just that I don't want to get super bullish on a commodity until things start really riding up. So yeah, enough about that. Now I'm gonna switch gears to the psychology and what's made me a bad trader and investor in 2019 is in the markets. I mean, I did good on my condo selling this year, so I'm just having a year in review. Your life's a learning game. But anyways, the reality is I am a very good pool player, and I also play chess, and I'm a very determined person, and I look at it as though the game's not over till it's over, right? So if the stock's doing bad, or say it's just the industry's dying and all that stuff and it's going down a lot, I have the hard time of saying like I'm gonna be done. But I don't have control over these companies. I can't right the ship. It's up to the CEOs and the management to make sure that they get the company running efficiently, profitably, and getting EBITDA and then eventually net income, without like adding like the vested options off of their goodwill to make a net income, because that's not a real net income. But anyways, I'm not going to get into that. The reality is that I play a game of pool, and say I'm down like a lot, some guy's beating me by a lot, I don't give up, because I know there's always a chance I'm gonna win that game. Like, I can come back. I got that fighter spirit. I had a nickname called the Blue Tiger at my trade school, the Blue Tiger. I've had a lot of nicknames in my life, but I like the Blue Tiger. I hold a necklace with a tiger in it. The spirit of the tiger. I believe in the spirit of the tiger. If you see it, it's pretty dark out. But anyways, that's the dealio, is that I just don't give up. I want to make sure I right the ship. I'm gonna find a way. But at the same token, these companies, they're gonna get paid whether they do the ship right or not 90% of the time, because they have ways. So, you know, they're paying themselves a salary, whatever, that shit like that. So I don't have control over these companies, entities, and like companies like I bought Isoldio like a long time ago, and I bought some shares, and I just decided, you know, I didn't like their financials. I'm done with it. I wanna start focusing on the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio. Have a focus on that, as well as having a deeply big cash position at all times. And it's a psychological thing. Like, I had to take the loss, you know, on my TFSA, which is really hard, because basically with your TFSA is you only have a limit of room. So I was hoping, you know, I want to hope that I can get my TFSA up to like $250,000 or whatever. Whether I put all that money back in it, the ability to do that, because like the compound interest mentality is that, so say the it's like, I don't know, $250,000 market cap. Fuck, what am I talking about? I'm just sidetracked. But I don't know. What I'm saying is, okay, you got the $250,000. Say you get your TFSA up to, you got a limit of $60,000 this year, then you're going to be able to add another $6,000 in 2020. Okay, is basically, so then if you get to say like $250,000, and then you take the money out, and then you wait for the markets to just get crushed, and then you buy back in with say like $150,000, and then you turn it into $600,000. You take it out, then you put it into a house or whatever. You're not claiming taxes, right? So, but if you take in a loss on it, you're not able to get the money like back for the losses, as well as it affects your TFSA room. So that's why it's hard to take a loss in a TFSA. So it's like, fuck. But that's the reality of things, and I'm just sick of Isoldio. Maybe they'll get their shit together, but I feel it makes me angry at night. And the thing that I learned about investing this year is I gotta trust my gut, because like I was talking to my friend about, like, I still have Wayland shares, and I was talking to my friend when they were still trading and stuff like that, and I was so angry about that deal with World and all that stuff. He's like, she's telling me like she doesn't know much about trading, but she's just like, yeah, you should just, you know, it doesn't feel right, just get out. And that's kind of like a women's brain, you know, like that's smart, logical, like as far as things, like they don't like want to defy the odds, you know, but like sometimes men, especially like guys like me, we want to defy the odds, and you know, it's not a good mentality to have for the long term, because you can't push your will on the market. You can only buy very good companies. Another thing I want to talk on about is well, I think that a lot of these companies, until they get their running like a really profitable business, like, you know, where they're saying like making $100 million plus, and they're getting some EBITDA and all that stuff, they're pretty much just I would call them exploration mining company. I'll give a shout out to Rich TV. He says he likes the green gold, and basically he says that that he does because you can just get it off the ground. Well, I'm going to disagree with that, because I honestly think that a lot of these companies are pretty much just exploration cannabis companies. They're exploration, they're not going to make it, and they're just exploration, you know? As soon as they start like growing lots of kilograms, and they're getting exported everywhere, and they're making their brand known, that's when they become like a fully producing mine almost. If in the context, obviously they're not a mine, they're a cannabis producer, but that's what I take. So I think that a lot of these companies are pretty much just like exploration, because they think, oh well, if they buy something, that it'll turn into like $100 million, and then all of a sudden it turns into like 150,000. I don't know what I'm saying, but I gotta go. What I'm saying is it doesn't turn out right, and things mess up, and that's not a good thing, because you know, exploration, I don't like exploration mining companies. I want a mining company that gets snow out of the ground and all that good shit, and they're not, you know, fake. They're not pretending like, oh, we're gonna make $100 million a year, and then they make like $1 million a year, like all that stuff. So they're pretty much the same. They're junior exploration, a lot of these companies, and then eventually when they get bigger and they're running good, then they'll be known as a mine in the context. So that's my take on a lot of these cannabis companies, and you know, it's been a very sad year, but at the same time, I've been able to, from all the disappointment and the failures, I've been able to learn the financial statements to a lot higher degree. You know, I got my report card series, and I can read these financials with some of the best of them. I'm not a financial accountant, but I can read that stuff with some of the best of them for sure in the industry, and you know, just in total, I know for sure I can read these financials very good. But I need to be more diligent in the future and focus on the net income. Of course, there was no net income at the beginning of the year, so things are different, but you know, that's just the life that I'm learning, and you grow from your biggest mistakes. So I am not gonna give up on my investing. I'm just gonna focus on trying to create my Berkshire Hathaway portfolio, and you know, as well as, you know, getting into real estate and all that stuff in the future. Anyways, it's getting close to Christmas, so enjoy the holidays, and peace. I'm out.